Boruto Tubu Vortex Chapter 36 has gave us another forbearing warning of the inevitable resurrection, return, or re-debut of this guy MoMoshiki, particularly as Borushiki, through Boruto's body. Now, we know Momoshiki is going to be here. It's just a matter of the if, ands, or buts regarding the entire situation and how we're going to necessarily look at it, right? So the most, I would say, talked about, but the most speculated and feared for conclusion would be Momoshiki rampaging through the village, because currently under the world of omnipotence, just understanding that in general, it's gonna make the entire situation way more difficult than what it needs to be, because people think Boruto is Kawaki and Kawaki is Boruto. So Kawaki should have Momoshiki, and in their minds and in past, events, Kawaki has been the one rampaging or having that split personality where it's been Kage summits and higher ups discussions on Naruto, can you kill your son, quote unquote Kawaki, if it comes to it. And then we come to find out Boruto is the one that has the split personality. But would that even be enough to have people understand or at least realize the truth? No, because in their eyes, it's gonna be Boruto himself, horn or no horn, deeper voice or no deeper voice, who's sending those giant Rasengan and destroying the coffee shops and the different burger joints and the ramen noodle stalls. So regardless of how people want to see it, it still will be Boruto in the majority of the audiences and the fans' eyes who caused this damage. So the sole reason of a Momoshiki rampaging through Konoha Village right now would just completely destroy all and any plans that Boruto had in slowly gaining the trust of the villagers currently under the guise of omnipotence. The only hope at this point would be for Boruto to simply reverse omnipotence and have everyone retain their original memories and the new memories they gained over these last 3 years so they can understand and know the full comprehended truth. But Momoshiki rampaging through the village. Let's just sit on this topic for a little bit and talk about it, right? Because there's not too many scenarios where I personally believe this is going to be something that we have our focus on or shift our attention towards within the next chapter. Granted, within the next upcoming 2, 3, possibly even 4 chapters, I can see it. But right now, currently, we understand the predicament. Boruto showed up a second too late, and Sarada has been taken by Code. Not only that, but their plan has failed. The flying Raijin plans he left with her have been disrupted and left behind by this guy Code, who saw straight through their plan the minute he came into contact with Sarada. Now, Boruto with any character very much so should be panicking at the current point in time. Now, is this panic enough for him to basically dive deep into despair and have Momoshiki take over? It's too premature. Honestly and truly, I can't sugarcoat it. It would be too premature for Boruto to completely give up all hope, simply because he was just too late in this second. Now, understanding Sarada is about to be in a very sticky situation and he needs to get to her. But this current point in time, at this very moment, he should not be under the belief or guise that Sarada is completely dead and she's a lost cause, because that would be something that I can see Boruto driving into despair for. But in a situation where he understands he placed Sarada in a predicament where he understands he bears the majority of the responsibility, he needs to make actions and try to do something that might be rash and might inevitably make everything worse, which is why we have Kasha Koji's warning before Boruto flying Raijin out of there. He didn't stay to listen to what Koji was going to say or how Koji was possibly going to instruct him. So my belief is that Boruto is going to make maybe a couple of more rash decisions, 2 or 3 more decisions that ultimately lead into a domino effect that will lead into Momoshiki being revived and ultimately going on this rampage within the village. Aside from that, because I'm trying to find a way where it's like Boruto is being taken over by Momoshiki. So if one thing keeps on happening and another thing stacks on top of another, that's the only way. But at the current point in time we're in right now, Sarada is missing. Boruto has realized that he failed his mission, and Koji just got updated visions. So there's already a lot going down, right? And to add on a couple of more things, possibly like a Jura returning or some trouble with Himawari, that would be you juggling too much as an author, Ikimoto, with the things that you just introduced to us in terms of the stakes being raised within the previous chapter. So going into 37, they're gonna have to solely focus on either the Momoshiki stuff or the Sarada stuff, and they don't have to be correlated. It's going to be loose connections because everything revolves around Boruto, but they don't have to be exactly correlated in this current point in time. So like I stated, right now, Sarada isn't absolutely dead for 2 main reasons. One, Code's whole thing is to draw Boruto to the Shinju by using Sarada as a hostage. So it defeats the purpose if he allows her to die the minute he kidnaps her. And two, Boruto should have enough confidence and faith and have enough first-hand proof of Sarada's strength to understand that at the very least, within these next few minutes, she shouldn't be dying. We've seen what Hidari can do. We fought against Hidari ourselves. And if Code wants to get me alive and use Sarada as a hostage, they need to keep Sarada alive at the very least until they see me with their eyes. Now, Boruto can be in a situation where he's not thinking straight enough to have all of these thoughts come to him clearly, but these are the things that should come down the line to him eventually. So as far as Sarada's situation and him just staying on the ground on his knees crying like, oh no, Sarada's gone, I don't believe that's going to be the case. But sticking solely to a situation where Boruto gives up control to Momoshiki, there's only going to be two situations, people. And the two situations are very much plausible here within these next chapters. A situation where he comes across Kawaki, or a situation where he comes across this guy, Jura. We understand the whole entire purpose and point of Momoshiki's deal with Boruto is to defeat Jura. Inevitably, it's still unclear whether Boruto wants to try to utilize the full karma power or however much of Momoshiki power he can use on his own to defeat Jura, and then allow Momoshiki to take over his body? Or does he want Momoshiki to be the one to personally deal the killing blow on Jura? That would give us, the audience, a glimpse of how Boruto perceives the strength. Maybe Boruto understands, even if I use Momo's power, I might be strong enough. But I know if Momoshiki used his power plus my power, he can definitely get the job done. So it's a matter of how Boruto initially wants that plan to go. So if he decides to take on Jura himself, then we'll understand. But for the most part with Kawaki, it will be much more clear cut and dry, because Kawaki has not seen Boruto activate his karma. He doesn't know the deal that Boruto made with Momoshiki, and most importantly, he never seen Boruto use the karma once throughout the Mamushi battle. So the last inkling that of any idea Kawaki has of Boruto in relation to his karma was when he told Boruto to basically suck it up as he was about to get ready to fight Jura, and Boruto was struggling to contain his karma. And then prior to that, after Boruto ran away from Kawaki and Kawaki noticed that Boruto couldn't control his karma, they had the conversation and Kawaki summarized everything Boruto told him. Basically, this is a worse situation than it was before. So Kawaki's mind, Boruto's karma regardless is no good. So the minute he sees a karma Boruto, it's going to be up and it's going to be stuck. Now, in the future visions, we do see for the first time V2 and V2 for both Boruto and Kawaki. We have their horns popping out and we get to see those type of designs in their TBV. For the most part, Kawaki's horn is still cut off, but the shading kind of tells us that that's going to be his horn state. And the only reason he would have this for two reasons: if he's coming across a threat that warrants this situation, but also it's been officially revealed Kawaki has never operated at an attack efficiency or power above 85%. So the next time we see him, we're gonna have to see him for the first time at 100% attack power. So that might correlate to his horn. But in a situation where Boruto is already under duress, right? He quickly flying Raijins to the Hidden Leaf Village. The only time Kawaki is able to sense him is because he notices, I sense an Otsutsuki presence, but Boruto is masking his chakra. What if in this current point in time, Boruto was so rushing and so caught up in what Koji told him that his plan was failing, he quickly flying Raijin to Sarada's location without trying to mask his chakra and realized he was too late. And without even thinking about it, understanding that Kawaki can sense him in an instant, he tries to chase after them, because understanding right now there's nothing he can do with flying Raijin. Let's throw it out the window. We have to incorporate the deal with Momoshiki. What else can Boruto do that ties into Momoshiki basically saying, use my karma or whatever else you like? We saw him use the Byakugan, we saw him use the karma. Is this going to be a opportunity for Ikimoto to show us Boruto's desperation? A little bit of headcanon here, but what if Boruto decides to try to open a portal with his karma seal because he understands, well, I can't use my flying Raijin to go there because the way I utilize and built that jutsu, but if I go back to the basics and try to open a portal with this karma, understanding that Momoshiki gave me more control of his power, it might work, it might not, but I can always try in order to track code inside of the chakra. And in the midst of that, Kawaki senses all of this and he has no time for questions. He's not going to talk about it, and we know he's not going to talk about it. So he comes out karma blasting, and Boruto has no room or time in order to explain to Kawaki what's going on. And in the midst of all of this chaos, maybe there's a lapse in judgment. There's a lapse in Boruto's control and his will. Too much going on. Kawaki now seeing him use karma. Sarada's kidnapped. He has to figure out a way to get to Sarada. He doesn't know if she's gonna die, if they're gonna wait until they see him. What the heck does he needs to do? And the village politics is only getting worse. And in that instance, boom, Momoshiki manages to take over. So in this type of situation, I can see it occurring like that. But even with the Kawaki situation, is it a thing where Boruto would willingly give up control to Momoshiki? I don't necessarily see it. I do see Momoshiki forcing his way out in the middle of that type of confrontation in order to basically get rid of Kawaki once and for all. Now, Boruto willingly giving up his body after he get his head knocked in by Juro 1 or 2 more times. Like, I don't think it's crazy, chat, to say Boruto's like, yo, Big Momo, pop out. What are you talking about? Let's get to it. You are anything but to do it. So versus Jura, definitely, I believe we'll see a willingness there. Versus Kawaki, I believe it would be more against his will. But as for whether it's in or outside the village, 50-50. If we want to dive so much on into this situation where Boruto might just live in the moment or just basically tread in the moment that Sarada just got kidnapped, it might be in the village. But I'm more so along the lines of thinking we open up the next chapter, Boruto realizes it's too late. He grabs his pens and he flying rises out of there to make some other rash decision that Koji ultimately saw, which is going to make the future worse. But all in all, do you guys believe Momoshiki will revive, but most importantly, revive in Konoha and go on a rampage throughout the village? And what do y'all think that's going to do for my son Boruto's PR? Because right now they're working overtime and it's still not looking good. So let me know your thoughts, comments, concerns. What do y'all think Momoshiki will do once he revives, and if it would even be within the village or not? It's your boy Black Uchiha 3. Holla at your boy. I'm holla at y'all. Black Uchiha out. Yes, sir. Ski.